I'm going to be honest with you, even if it stings a little. There's a pattern you've been repeating, and deep down, you already know it. You keep telling yourself that things are going to be different. You think about it, you maybe even write it down. You imagine a better version of your life. For a brief moment, it feels real, like you're finally about to turn a corner. And then, nothing changes. You fall right back into the same routine, the same habits, the same excuses dressed up as reasons. It's not because you're lazy or incapable. It's because there's a gap between what you say you want and what you're actually willing to do to get it. Let's clear something up. Your desire for change is real. You're not faking that. You do want a different life, more growth, more fulfillment, more success, whatever that looks like for you. But wanting something and being prepared to earn it are two entirely different things. That's the uncomfortable truth most people avoid. It's easy to fall in love with the idea of a better future. It's much harder to fall in love with the process that creates it. Because that process, it's inconvenient. It disrupts your comfort. It asks you to show up differently, especially on the days you don't feel like it. Right now, you're stuck in a loop. You get inspired, maybe even motivated. You feel that rush of energy, that sense of this is it. But instead of turning that energy into consistent action, you let it fade. And once it fades, you go back to what's familiar, even if that familiarity is exactly what's holding you back. There's a reason for that. Your brain is wired to keep you safe, not to help you grow. Safe means predictable. Safe means known. Growth, on the other hand, is uncertain, it's awkward, it's uncomfortable. And your mind will do everything it can to pull you back into what it recognizes as normal. So you start negotiating with yourself. I'll start tomorrow. I need to prepare a bit more. Now's not the right time. And just like that, another day passes. Then another. Then weeks go by, and you're still in the same place, wondering why nothing is changing. Here's the part you need to hear. Nothing changes because you haven't changed. Not really. You might have changed your thoughts temporarily. You might have felt different for a moment. But your actions, the things that actually shape your life, have stayed mostly the same. And actions don't lie. If you say you want growth, but you keep choosing what's easy, then ease is your real priority. If you say you want success, but you avoid the work that scares you, then comfort is still in control. That doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you human. But staying there? That's a choice. There comes a point where you have to stop convincing yourself that you are almost ready. Ready isn't a feeling that magically appears. It's something you decide, often before you feel confident, before you feel certain, before you feel prepared. Think about the moments in your life when you actually grew. They probably weren't neat or perfectly planned. They were messy. You figured things out as you went. You felt unsure, maybe even overwhelmed. But you moved anyway. That's how growth works. It's not a smooth transition from your old self to your new one. It's a period where you don't fully recognize either version. You're no longer who you used to be, but you're not yet who you're becoming. And that in-between space, that's where most people quit, because it feels unstable. It feels like you've lost your footing. The old habits don't satisfy you the same way anymore, but the new habits haven't become natural yet. So you're stuck in this uncomfortable middle ground. And instead of staying there long enough to transform, you retreat. You go back to what's familiar, even if it no longer fits who you are or who you want to be. You start playing smaller. You tell yourself to be practical. You lower your expectations just enough to make your current situation feel acceptable. But in reality, you're not being practical. You're avoiding discomfort. That restless feeling you've been carrying? That's not random. That's a signal. It's your awareness telling you that you've outgrown something. Maybe a habit, maybe a mindset, maybe an environment. But instead of expanding into something new, you've been trying to compress yourself back into what's comfortable. And it's exhausting, isn't it? Because deep down, you know you're capable of more. You can feel it. That tension, that uneasiness. It's not there to punish you. It's there to push you. So here's what you need to do, and keep it simple. Pick one area of your life where you know you've been choosing comfort over growth? Just one. It could be something you've been avoiding, something you've been delaying, or something you keep making excuses about. Now, do the opposite of what feels easy. If you've been avoiding a difficult conversation, have it. If you've been holding back from starting something, begin even if it's imperfect. If you've been saying yes when you mean no, set a boundary. Pay attention to your body when you think about doing it. That slight tension, that nervous energy, that hesitation. That's your indicator. That's the edge of your comfort zone. And that's exactly where you need to go. Don't wait for the fear to disappear, it won't. Don't wait to feel fully confident. You probably won't. Move anyway. Because confidence isn't what comes before action. It's what comes after you've proven to yourself that you can act despite the fear. You don't need to overhaul your entire life overnight. That's another trap. Focus on one uncomfortable decision and follow through on it. Then do it again and again. That's how you build momentum. That's how you create real change. Not through bursts of motivation, but through consistent, uncomfortable choices that align with the person you want to become. At some point, you have to stop trying to fit into a version of your life that no longer matches who you are. It's not going to suddenly feel right again. You've already grown beyond it, so stop shrinking yourself just to make it work. Step out of it. Yes, it will feel uncertain. Yes, you might feel exposed for a while. But that phase isn't a sign that something is wrong. It's proof that something new is forming. And that's the process you've been avoiding. Not because you don't want the result, but because you've been resisting what it takes to get there. Now you have a choice. You can keep repeating the same cycle, brief motivation followed by inaction, or you can interrupt it by doing something different, something uncomfortable, something real. No more waiting for the perfect moment. No more pretending you're about to start soon. Start now, even if it's messy, even if it's small, even if it scares you a little. Because the version of you that you keep imagining, that person is built through what you do, not what you intend. So decide. Are you going to keep holding on to what's familiar, or are you finally ready to step into something new? Whatever your answer is, make sure your actions back it up.